Now at 10, the Joplin City Council votes on the first reading of a proposal to ban alcohol shooter bottles. Plus, child advocates in Missouri react to child tax credit legislation failing this session, and how the Fort Scott Public Library is preparing for its summer reading programs.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Joplin City Council tonight rejected a proposal to ban sales of miniature shooter bottles of alcohol in the city. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. These bottles are commonly used for selling alcohol in quantities of 100 milliliters or less. Supporters of the proposal say the bottles contribute heavily to the city's litter problem, but opponents argued a ban would be unfair and would hurt the city's sales tax revenue. The council rejected the ordinance by a vote of 6-3. A plan to improve access to child care for thousands of Missouri families fell short during the legislative session. Even if you don't have a child, the child care crisis does impact everyone. It's one of the reasons for our worker shortage. Supporters say the tax credits would have given life support to our child care crisis. There was a contribution tax credit, employer-provided assistance tax credit, and a child care provider's tax credit on the table, but none of them were passed. Some of us got some more rain this evening. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we've had rounds of showers and thunderstorms over the past several days, and finally this wave is coming to an end. But still, we're going to have some hit and miss showers out there tonight across the region. We did get 77, mainly before the scattered thunderstorms popped up during the afternoon hours. And you can see it kind of decreasing, kind of falling apart. We still have some light showers across southwestern Missouri and drizzle, mainly Kansas and Oklahoma. But the heavy rain is out of here, and we needed the rain for sure. But we are going to have these light hit and miss showers sticking around throughout the overnight hours. As the winds die down a little bit more, we may get some patchy fog in here as well. So still, the roads are going to be wet tonight. So if you are going to be out, make sure you are careful on the roadways. We'll drop back to about 60 for an overnight low. We're going to look at the rest of the work week coming up here in just a bit.
Catching a few. The heavy rains led to flooding in some parts of the 4 states. This picture is from Garrison Avenue in Carthage. It was taken by the Chamber of Commerce. Then this picture is of a home near Grand Falls in Joplin. It shows a large rush of water coming right through a yard. As the weather warms up, ticks are already making their presence known. A recent study in Missouri detected tick-borne diseases in about 21% of the gathered ticks. Ticks can carry several serious diseases with a number of debilitating symptoms. Experts say it's important to protect yourself while outside by using insect repellent, wearing long-sleeved shirts and long pants, and staying on walking paths.
They are most attracted to areas of high moisture, so that's going to be things like your armpits, your groin, your feet, because of socks trapping moisture in your shoes. So those are the first places to check when looking for ticks on you.
Experts also say it's important to treat your pets for ticks, as they can easily carry ticks and bring them indoors. The Kansas Department of Education is giving families a chance to explore different places and activities in the state this summer. The Sunflower Summer app gives families free tickets to places like museums, zoos, historic landmarks, and more. You can access the tickets through app, plan your trips, and track where you've visited. The program runs from May 26th to August 13th. The Pitt State president is using pedal power to raise funds and goodwill. Dan Shipp began his 12-day trip titled Dan Bikes Kansas, and these Frontenac students cheered him on as he passed through their community. Shipp and his caravan will stop in cities all along the way and will host alumni, donors, potential students, and partners, including community college presidents and other fans at evening events. The goal is to meet gorillas all across the state and to secure funding for scholarships for students. Fort Scott Public Library is getting ready for its summer reading programs. The library will host its second annual LibraryCon event in June. It's a chance for families to hang out at the library, meet local authors, play some games, and even meet cosplayers dressed up as their favorite characters. Officials say events like these are a great way to keep kids engaged over the summer.
helping kids to avoid the summer slide and to keep on track with their reading skills all throughout the summer. So in order to do that, we give them prizes. We also have a virtual program so parents can sign their kids up online. They can log all their reading online, come pick up their prizes at the library.
The Library Con will be on June 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. First grade students in Anderson, Missouri have been collecting pop tabs from aluminum cans all year. They got a whole lot of them, and today they delivered their collection to the Ronald McDonald House of the Four States. Look at that. The class's teacher, Mrs. Bradley, has been having her students collect pop tabs for the Ronald McDonald House for several years. But this was the first year her class got a tour of the facility to see how it impacts families in need.
We had a family that came through Anderson Elementary that spent a lot of time here, and we made a cookbook and we started collecting tabs just as a way to help support that family after knowing that they were started Natalie's life here.
Ronald McDonald House officials say their recycling program has raised more than $35,000 since 1997. The Diamond, Missouri School District's Special Education Department is selling off some surplus equipment. The items include foam play areas, swings, a ball pit, and a sensory stimulation kit. Bidding for the items will open on Wednesday at 3 p.m. with winners being notified on Thursday. You can view the items in person at the school during regular business hours. We can find a link to pictures of them on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. If you want the best steak in Kansas, and why wouldn't you, look no further than Van's Steakhouse in Baxter Springs. At least that's according to the website Mashed. They compiled a list of the best steakhouses in every state. Van's Steakhouse was chosen for Kansas based on research on reviews, accolades, and recommendations from various sources. Coming up, a man is charged by Capitol Police after attacking two members of Congress with a baseball bat. Plus, what a new report predicts Kansas's unemployment and GDP numbers will look like next year. Crossings at the border with Mexico are down more than 50% since the policy known as Title 42 ended last week. Some people expected those crossings to go way up. Administration officials say the drop is because strict new rules that went into place when Title 42 was lifted are working. But Republicans say the numbers are still too high and the detention facilities are dangerously overcrowded. A man is under arrest tonight after allegedly attacking two staff congressional members with a metal baseball bat after asking for the congressman by name. Scott McFarland reports the assault comes amid a sharp increase in threats to lawmakers over the last few years.
49-year-old Juan Catran Pham of Fairfax, Virginia, is accused of a late-morning rampage in this suburban office complex, where 8-term Democratic Congressman Jerry Connolly has a district office.
Someone has come into this business. Someone has been struck with a bat.
Connolly wasn't there at the time, but says the attacker was asking for him before wielding a metal bat and striking a senior aide in the head. Pham then allegedly struck an office intern in the side of her body. It was her first day on the job.
It's quite frankly scary that someone can just walk up to an office holding a baseball bat and just start swinging at innocent victims.
Police say they found and arrested Pham before he left the complex. He faces 2 charges, including aggravated malicious wounding. Connolly told CBS News police had to subdue the attacker.
They had to taser him. He was that agitated and violent. And I understand there was a bit of an altercation and one police officer had minor injuries from it.
The 2 staffers were released from the hospital Monday night. Police say they don't know the motive for this attack, but they say Pham doesn't have a criminal history here on Capitol Hill. Capitol Police say the number of threat investigations they're undertaking has skyrocketed from just a few years ago, up 400%. Scott McFarland, CBS News, the Capitol.
Congressman Connolly's office says during the attack he was nearby at a ribbon cutting for a local food bank. U.S. consumer sentiment dropped in May, according to a preliminary report from the University of Michigan. The cause, Americans are worried about the economy and the potential default of the government's debt. Consumer pessimism can impact spending behavior if people decide to tighten their wallets. A separate report shows that's already happening. The New York Fed's Household Spending Survey says monthly household spending decreased by nearly 2% from December to April. The unemployment rate in Kansas is expected to decrease in 2024, with the state poised to add thousands of new jobs. That's according to a new employment forecast released by Wichita State University's Center for Economic Development and Business Research. Since 2020, employment rates have been on the rise. The center estimates an employment increase of 0.8% for the state in 2024. It also predicts GDP across all industries in the state will increase. The oil, mining, and natural gas industries in particular are expected to have significant growth. Gerber says potentially contaminated baby formula reached retailers in 8 states despite a recall. The distributed products included 12.4-ounce cans of Good Start Soothe Pro powdered infant formula. Those manufactured between January 2nd and 18th could contain a germ with the potential to seriously sicken infants. A little later, we're going to hear from a Kansas farmer about how recent rainfall has impacted wheat crops.
Plus, the rain is actually moving out for us tonight, so we're going to look at the week. Coming up next. Well, it definitely turned out to be another wet one for us today, but we need the rain. We've gotten some really beneficial rains over the past several days. Showers and thunderstorms, of course, dating back for us. We had rain every day at some point in the time last week into the weekend. And then, of course, today, which we need. Still wet out there. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. All right, look at our rain stats. So we got almost 3/4 of an inch today. For the month, we're above average, which is great. We're almost at 4 inches for the month of May. But we're behind for the year, and this is mainly because April was the 3rd driest April on record. But at least we flipped the switch, and we're getting rain now. We are going to dry out a little bit over the next couple days. All the showers and thunderstorms, well, the thunderstorms are gone. We still have the showers, especially southwestern parts of Missouri. We are going to have light showers tonight, and drizzle. May even get a little bit of the light fog in here, patchy fog, so watch out for that. Let's zoom into the metro. A couple showers near Neosho, a little cluster near Galena, Riverton, down toward Miami, a couple showers for Pittsburgh, and then just east of Carthage. But these are going to be just very hit and miss for us tonight as this wave rotates off toward the east. But check out these rainfall amounts. So this is over the past 48 hours. One, it's widespread. Everybody across the region has gotten rain. Now, along the I-44 corridor in south and along the state line of Kansas and Oklahoma, where you see the yellows, that's 3 inches. Where you see the oranges, 4 to 5 inches. So we've gotten very beneficial rain. So this is going to put a nice little dent in the drought that especially Kansas and Oklahoma have been in. All right, mid-60s right now. Looking at 7th and Rangeline, still wet. 66, visibility is dropping down to 2 miles. Humidity's at 93%. We are probably going to get some patchy fog in here tonight. Hit miss showers through the night will drop back to about 60 for an overnight low. Now, the clouds are going to stick around for us tomorrow. So mostly cloudy skies. When you get up in the morning, we may get a little bit of sunshine in here late in the day, but temperature is quite a bit cooler. High temps tomorrow, 67, 68, 69 degrees, and we can't rule out a couple little sprinkles. But most of us are going to be dry tomorrow. Tomorrow night we clear out. The winds are also going to be light. Still the moisture on the ground will most likely get some patchy fog again. A little bit cooler, down into the mid-50s. Now Wednesday looks fantastic. Mid to upper 70s, plenty of sunshine across the region. So we do get a little stretch of nice days. Tomorrow a lot of clouds. 60 to start, 65 by noon, high temp 68. Our next storm system, this is going to roll in late Thursday. Thursday night, this is going to be a cold front. It's going to slide in, could get some very heavy amounts of rain, some severe weather possible Thursday night. Into Friday, we'll have to see the timing of the exact front, but this is our next opportunity, 1 for rain, and 2 for a chance for severe weather across the region. But we don't have to deal with anything severe over the next few days, especially after 4 days of severe weather last week. 68 tomorrow, 75 Wednesday, near 80 on Thursday. We do cool down with that cold front, so only 69 Saturday, 74 on Sunday, but the weekend's going to be great. Thunderstorms again next week, severe threat. I think that's the 24th, so at least the 22nd is going to be okay.
The 22nd will be okay. Okay, thanks, Doug. We have seen a bit of rain over the past week, some places more than others, but is it enough to help out Kansas farmers? Reporter Joe Baker talked with a farmer in Newton, Kansas to find out.
We just need more rain, and I hope this is the first of many.
Rain across portions of Kansas Sunday coming to the aid of farmers. One tells me it could benefit this year's wheat crop, but only in some ways.
Don't want to say too little, too late. It will help the heads fill. It will make the test weight of the grain better.
The rain coming down hard in parts of Kansas. Newton farmer Steve McLeod says it's a welcoming sight for the fall crops.
The corn, the grain sorghum, the soybeans that have been planted and are just now growing, this will give them a tremendous boost. This will give them a great start, and hopefully it's just the start of many more nice rains like today.
But the wheat crop,
I think the wheat is pretty much what it's going to be. This will help as it fills, as it matures, as it ripens. But as far as drastically increasing yield, I'm afraid that ship has sailed.
And with the harvest just weeks away,
we're just hoping that we can harvest something. It's going to be very, very short as far as stature. It's not very tall. It's going to be a challenging harvest, and that always makes it worse when you're not harvesting very many bushels.
Steve anticipates the wheat harvest is going to happen in the second or third week of June. Still ahead, Missouri Southern baseball earns a spot in the Division II National Tournament. We'll take a look at their first round matchup. And Girard softball hits the field for their regional opener against Caney Valley. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more up next.
Well, today is the opening day of the playoffs for Kansas High School softball. The Girard Trojans hit the field this afternoon in the first round of their 3A regional bracket in Columbus. The Trojans are the 3 seed here, facing the 6 seed Caney Valley. The Trojans down 3-0, but Aaron Anderson leading off the bottom of the first with a big homer out to center. That cuts the Girard deficit to 3-1. To the third inning now, down just one, Eleanor Reek sends it back up the middle. That brings Emmeline Sinnott home. Reek safely in there to second. Game tied at 3. Then Trojans take their first lead later in the inning. Sam Bruchin, liner there. Runner scores. Bailey Troike right behind her. 2-run single for Bruchin makes it 5-3. Next inning, Emmeline Sinnott up just fair into the left field corner. Sarah Goebel comes home. Double for Sinnott gets the Girard lead to 6-3. Then just for good measure, Leah McGowan this time follows that up with a hard liner to left. Sinnott in from second. McGowan takes her place out there at second with the double. Girard wins, moves on to the regional semifinals, beating Caney Valley 9-5. Now, Girard plays the winner of this one. Defending state champion Frontenac faces Galena. First inning, Annie Lee back up the middle here into center field. Maddie Lajada scores from second. RBI single for Lee. 4 runs in the first for Frontenac. Down the circle, Avery Johnson, good start, strikeout there. She really shut down Galena all afternoon. Back to the bats though, Abby Beeman sends a rocket into the grass in center. That brings Annie Lee home. 2 more for the Raiders in the second, pushes their lead to 6-0. Then in the third, Caitlin Hayslip sends one in the gap in right center. That gets down, run scores. 3 more for Frontenac in the third, makes it 9-0. Then weather delayed the game. They will resume this one tomorrow afternoon with the Raiders up 9-0 in the top of the fourth. The Missouri Southern baseball team is back in the Division II National Tournament. The Lions have earned the number 2 seed in the Central Region in their first tournament appearance since 2019. And not only that, they get to host the regional for the first time since 1992. Southern faces Arkansas Tech in their opener Thursday night. First pitch for that one will be at 6 p.m. We will hear from the Lions on that matchup right here tomorrow night. Well, this week is playoff week for the Pittsburgh High School girls soccer team. The Purple Dragons have earned the 7th seed in the 5A East bracket and will face DeSoto tomorrow night in the regional semifinals. Pittsburgh heads into the postseason with an 8-5 overall record. It's the best record in the program's brief 3-year history. And it's been a quick rise for the Purple Dragons. They went from winless in year 1 to getting their first win in year 2, to a winning record and hosting a regional match this year for the first time.
I think we've come a long way this season, and I think we're at the top of our game. We had a really strong start to the season, and we kind of tapered off a little bit, and we recovered from that, and they did it really well as a team together, and I think we're in the best spot to go forward.
I really think it's just the chemistry that we all have together, and it's great friendship and ability to talk to each other and work together. And just, we had a roadblock in the middle of the season, but we really came out stronger and better at the end, and heading into regionals, I think we're more than ready.
I really love this time of the year because we have playoff baseball, playoff softball, playoff soccer, games
NBA finals.
Yeah, it's a great time to talk about sports, and it's intense. The games mean so much more. Every pitch means so much more.
Guess so. We'll be right back. A Nepali Sherpa has tied a Mount Everest climbing record. He climbed the mountain for the 26th time yesterday. He's the world's second person to achieve that feat. 46-year-old Pasang Dan Sherpa stood atop the more than 29,000-foot peak, sharing the record with Kamirita Sherpa. That's a long way up.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
No. You and 99.99% of the population wouldn't do it. That's why it's special when someone does. Rain chances moving out for the evening.
Yeah, we are still going to have some hit and miss, little drizzle, a little bit of fog tonight. A lot of clouds tomorrow, 68. So a cooler day, 75. Wednesday looks great. Thunderstorms back in late Thursday.
Final sports now.
Another busy day of playoffs tomorrow. Both Pittsburgh High School baseball and softball in action in regionals, plus first round of regional baseball in Girard. So we'll have all that covered right here tomorrow night.
Looking forward to that. The morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.